869,000 Ohio households who are enrolled in the program have just received a cut of $520 million. Now, that means every family in Ohio is going to lose about 50. If you're on food stamps, is going to lose about $50. Why?
A month?
Yes.
Okay.
Because the Department of Job and Family Services has said that the problem is that it has been a very mild winter. And so there's lower natural gas prices. And so you're going to experience a cut in aid because your fuel isn't as expensive.
Is this based on last year's winter?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, the places in Ohio that distribute food are starting to say, we're in trouble here. We're going to run out of food because people are not going to be able to afford it. So, congratulations, Ohio, for all of those people who said, oh, well, I can get my free Obama phone. And if you think that this federal government didn't know that they were going to cut those services a week ago, you're even dumber than I think you are.
No, I think they found out yesterday. They're like, oh, darn it.
Crap.
Oh, crap. We just found out.
How about the food stamp number?
Yeah, here's another statistic they held until yesterday. Now, usually the food stamp number comes out in the last of a month or the first couple of days of the next month. It came out yesterday that we had a record number of food stamp recipients in July, which is the last month that was recorded. 420,900 new recipients in 1 month. That's an all-time record for 1 month, biggest ever, and it brings the total to over 47 million now. They held on to that until yesterday.
Is that a problem? They probably didn't know about it until yesterday.
I'm sure they just found out. Yeah, I'm sure they did. It just happened to be delayed just this one time, and it was purely coincidental. Happened to be an election month. Amazing.
Well, you know, they probably didn't know because I love this one. Leon Panetta, he is, I want to quote him here. Leon Panetta, did you know about the Petraeus affair? He said, quote, you know, I don't know the answer to that.
What?
I don't know the
answer to whether or not I knew.
Did he have knowledge of the Petraeus affair? You know, this is a quote, I don't know the answer to that. I guess he's going to have to check with his advisors to see if he knew. When he asked whether the CIA director would be prosecuted, he said, I guess I'm reading the papers just like you are to determine what the committee finds out. So our Secretary of Defense gets his news on what's happening with the CIA and a military operation. He gets his news from the New York Times? Or is it USA Today? Or is it the New York Post? Which paper is it, sir, that you're getting your news from? That's terrifying and absolutely untrue. Absolutely untrue. Look, they were running a secret covert operation. And the question is, was it legal or was it not? If it was legal, then there were 8 congressmen, at least, that know about it. And Dianne Feinstein is one of them. She knows. In fact, Jeffy, could you ride up to the newsroom and find out which congressman would be involved and know? There has to be 4 on each side. Which congressman would know about a covert operation happening in Benghazi? Let's name them. They know. If it was a covert operation, they know. Covert operation would be we're sending guns over to the rebels in Syria. We're doing that. But nobody's investigated it. We're doing it. And nobody is reporting on it. Now, the question is, did Congress know about it? Because if Congress knew about it, then Dianne Feinstein is a liar today. Because Dianne was like, I've got to talk to General Petraeus and see what was going on. I have no idea. I've absolutely no. Well, you know, I'd think that Dianne would be a little more pissed. Because if she really didn't know what was going on, she is then made to look like a fool. Because this administration and Petraeus have been lying to her. Which is possible. If not, you've got 8 members of Congress who know exactly what was going on. and they're motivated to keep it quiet. Because how are you going to feel if you find out that they were running guns to Al-Qaeda, which we are still doing? How do you feel about that? You're talking treason, not sex scandals. Treason. And nobody seems to care. I'd like to find out why. I guess I could ask somebody in the administration, but they're reading the papers just like you. Who's dumb enough to believe this? Seriously. I mean, I know we have 61 million people that are apparently dumb enough to believe this, but how? What are your friends saying? Your friends, are they even following this yet? Because that's what I'd like to hear. I'd like to hear, what are your friends saying? How do they explain that the president didn't know until 5 o'clock on Election Day that Petraeus was really? Hang on just a second. The president said he wanted a thorough investigation and he wanted to get to the bottom of it. And it wasn't until 5 p.m. on Election Day that they brought this news to him. You'd think that was pretty important information right off the bat, wouldn't you? Hey, by the way, we can't trust when you're trying to throw the CIA under the bus, which is what they remember. It was bad intel. If that's your storyline, why wouldn't you use that? Why wouldn't you say, Mr. President, you have got to hear this. You want to talk about bad intel? Here's one of the reasons we're possibly getting bad intel. This guy's been playing footsie. Oh, no, you couldn't say that because he wasn't doing it while he was at the CIA. He was doing it while he was a general and being vetted for the CIA. And we just stumbled onto this information. It was amazing. What a coincidence that this information was given to us. Whoa, is that weird, huh? Maybe it was so unbelievable that they just couldn't bring it to the president. He's not going to believe this. He's Columbia. He was Occidental. He's smarter than that. He's not going to believe this. This can't be a coincidence. No, I've checked it out, Bill, four times. I keep checking it out. I keep looking. What are the odds? I've called Vegas and said, what are the odds that these things could possibly happen? Just spontaneously. Odds makers say impossible. But I checked it out 4 times. It's the way it happened. It was some sort of miracle from God. So we should bring it into him. Just amazing. Just amazing.